But getting responses from individual students is still not particularly strong evidence. And that's why periodically we recommend the use of what we call all-student response systems. The idea is you should get a response from every single student in the class, and I would say probably every 20 minutes or so of group teaching. There are people who will sell you expensive equipment to do this, these so-called classroom clickers, these electronic voting systems. And people say, the great thing about these classroom clickers is you can record every single response. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a plus to me. The idea that every single incorrect answer I have ever given in a classroom is recorded in an Excel spreadsheet until the end of time sounds distinctly creepy to me, as if George Orwell's 1984 has finally arrived. If we want to create a classroom where students feel okay about making mistakes, the last thing we should do is record every single one of them. And that's why I quite like dry erase boards, or ABCD cards, or even finger voting. 1 for A, 2 for B, 3 for C, 4 for D, and 5 for E, and so on. I remember interviewing some 4th grade students, and I remember asking a couple of girls, do you prefer the popsicle sticks or the ABCD cards? And this girl said, oh, I much prefer the ABCD card, she said, because even if you get it wrong, there's always someone else who has the same wrong answer as you. It made it a safer place for making mistakes. Because if you use random questioning and you get it wrong, you might think you're the only person who got it wrong. When you see other people getting it wrong, it somehow makes students feel a bit better about that. Some teachers take it even further. They use ABCD cards, for example, use 4 options for their questions, and if at least 3 students choose each option, the teacher sends the students to the 4 corners of the classroom, which he has labelled A, B, C, and D. And in each corner, the task students are given is to persuade students in the other corners that their answer is less good than your answer. So you see the students in the corners getting their argument straight, electing a spokesperson, and then suddenly you notice a boy in the C corner listening to his peers, beginning to suspect that C might not have been such a smart choice after all. So he's actually surreptitiously moving towards the D corner, and he's doing it surreptitiously because he thinks he's cheating. I think he's just learned something. And this is the problem we have in education when we use these words right and wrong as proxies for correct and incorrect. We think it's right to be right and it's wrong to be wrong. And if anything, it should be the other way around. I say to students, mistakes are evidence that the work I gave you is tough enough to make you smarter. If you're not making mistakes, I apologize. I'm probably wasting your time. But the most eloquent summary of this is a poster I saw in an elementary school classroom in Scotland. The teacher had a big poster on the wall that just said, "Stuck?" Question mark. Good. It was worth coming in today. And that made a profound impression on me, because that's not the message we normally send. We normally say it's bad to be stuck, but actually it's good to be stuck. It means this is worth your while. It creates what Robert Bjork calls desirable difficulties, which makes learning more memorable.